Welcome to the post-match show. Salil, comprehensive win for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. What do you have to say about this brilliant batting display by the SRH batsmen?
I think they came out with an extremely spirited game plan. They had no choice. Their backs were against the wall. Another loss would mean that they'd really have to have an uphill task to really make an impact in the tournament. And they really, were looking at going down the bottom. But they've come out and they've proved with such a clinical performance. And I think all the international players, the kind of talent that they have, you look at a Warner, Besto, and Williamson being the top three, they didn't expose the middle order at all.
Yeah,
So I think a brilliant performance by SRH by understanding the fact that it's not really a big score to chase and you don't need to do anything special. And I think they did just that and they sailed through. So I think brilliant
exactly.
performance by SRH.
A worrisome point for the Punjab Kings here because they didn't pick up any wickets, just the one wicket by Fabian Allen. What do you have to say about their bowling display, Salil?
Well, I think it's not to do with the bowling. It's not that the bowlers can't take any wickets. It also depends on the captaincy and kind of attacking field you put. So, to begin with, they did not place many slips when the fast bowlers were bowling. People were back towards the boundaries, and that made it just the more easier for the batsmen to play. So, I think from a captaincy perspective, they lacked the the grit and the attacking prowess to actually grip Hyderabad's batting lineup. And I think players that are like Bairstow and Warner easily identified that opportunity and were freely making runs at will.
Exactly. And speaking of change, Salil, I feel Punjab Kings would be looking at a couple of changes in the next game.
Yes, I think from a batting perspective, I don't think they require a change. They require a rejig, but from a bowling perspective, they should try a couple of new guys, and the mix should change a little bit. It looks very monotonous,
Yeah,
Arshdeep, Shami. So it doesn't look like it's got the sting. I mean, the opposition would clearly feel that yes, you have a chance the minute Punjab scores a smaller score. So I think they'll really have to look at that. I think the bowling is the team that they've picked up doesn't really have that sting that you'd expect them to have if they want to make it to the playoffs.
that's a big statement by you, Salil. That is definitely a question mark in the Punjab camp whether they'll qualify for the playoffs or no with the bowling attack that they possess. So,
True.
it's a sad day for the Punjab fans as well. You were right. SRH won, and your prediction was bang on. The scorecard, if you look at it, Salil, what do you have to say?
Well, I think it looks like a pretty good job done by Hyderabad, right? For getting Punjab out for 120 runs is itself drawing first blood, and then coming down and getting the job done for Johnny Bairstow and David Warner. What a wonderful partnership it was, and Kane
Definitely.
Williamson also towards the end coming in and make very easily scoring those singles, doubles, and sailing them through. So I mean, there was not an ounce of panic, even though they would have gone and played the last over. They really knew what they were going to do. There was one bad ball which was dispatched, and then they had just a couple of runs to win. So I think all in all, very calculated, but at the same time, a very you can call it a very clinical performance by the Hyderabad team. And I think now that's after losing three matches, they'll really be hungry. If you recollect, they were the team last year who won five matches on the trot to make it to the
Yeah,
playoffs.
playoffs.
And it's quite a similar team, with maybe the addition of Kedar Jadhav. So I think they still have the sting. They're still in it because they're a very strong side. Just remember there are other teams also who used to be at the bottom but are right at the top like RCB. So
Yeah.
their good days could be numbered if these kind of teams start firing up. So I really think the table is wide open at this time, but
Yeah.
a little cause of concern for Punjab if they are not able to get wins in the next couple of months, then they'd really have an uphill task. You might even start to count them out, by the middle of May. So you don't really want that in a competition like this. So let's hope they, gather their thoughts and strategies, and they come out with something great, which will be more
Abs-
exciting for all the cricket fans as well.
Absolutely. And quickly, we need to snap out of this SRH win, completely crushing the Punjab Kings by 9 wickets. Now moving on to the next game, coming down to Mumbai at the Wankhede Stadium, beautiful Wankhede Stadium. CSK taking on the KKR, a very competitive CSK against shaky KKR at the moment, but they are very strong. They've got great depth in their batting now. So the toss is done. CSK are going to be batting first. KKR have won the toss and elected to bowl first. What are your thoughts on the pitch and the toss as how it went?
I think it's not surprising. They've kind of used the same pitch that they used the other day, where Chennai was able to score 189 runs. So I think now Morgan, immediately as soon as he won the toss, he said, "This is a better pitch to bat on." I mean, and we're
Yeah,
coming from Chennai, so our batsmen are more positive to play on this pitch and make some runs and connect. And they've got all the players, in their batting lineup who are absolute touch players. They're brilliant players. You look at Nitish Rana, you look at Morgan, you look at Shubman Gill, Rahul Tripathi. They're absolutely brilliant batsmen, and they'll thrive in
yeah,
conditions like this. So I think it's a good toss to win. But at the same time, they are playing a Chennai side who has probably lost one match, but then got the formula right in the last two.
yeah,
And while they bundled out Punjab, they also scored big against Rajasthan, and they've done a pretty good job. So these two teams, honestly, there's no love lost with the kind of matches that they've had. Chennai has, uh, finished at the bottom of the table, points table last time, but
last
they
season.
denied KKR a spot in the playoffs. So KKR will remember that. The players do remember. They don't forget. I mean, it was just 6-8 months ago. So I think these two teams are at absolute loggerheads when it comes to getting that win under the belt. So because both the teams will be having two
Yeah.
thoughts. Chennai would want to take a win and go up on top of the table and try to stay there, which with a 75% win rate, while KKR, who's lost two, would like to come there and be one of the contenders in the next few games. So a really an exciting game to watch.
The teams, if you look at the teams here, the Chennai Super Kings have got just the one change, Bravo being rested, and Lungi Ngidi has made way for him. He was a good bowler last season, Salili. He's performed really well in the 2019 and 18 version as well. What do you have to say about this one change, resting Bravo? Good change or no?
Yes, I think it's a brilliant change. The fact that Mahendra Singh Dhoni said he wants to rest Bravo means they really want to rest him. I mean, you don't want to, make your old warhorse work so hard. So, and Lungi Ngidi is a young, spirited, fast bowler from South Africa, and the South African quickies have done quite a lot of things in the last 2 years in the
Yeah,
IPL.
absolutely.
They've really raised some eyebrows. So, I'd really like to look at, especially after losing Hazelwood to the whole COVID situation, you'd like to have one quickie in your bowling armor who can really bowl that. So Chennai is coming with that pace at KKR. The second thing I think, and I see the comment, and I'll get to that,
Yeah,
uh, is I also thought that Gaikwad should have been replaced, but I kind of feel the Chennai camp they've never really dropped players after 2-3 matches. The kind of
yeah.
volatile changes that you've seen in Hyderabad or Punjab, we will never see a Chennai side or a Mumbai side do that. Maybe it's just their think tank, or maybe it's just how their captain thinks. I think they would want to give Ruturaj Gaikwad another chance because there was nothing wrong in the batting lineup, although he didn't fire. So while the rest are firing, they would like to give him the chance. And there is an opportunity and a great window for a young man like him to flower because of the confidence the team management has showed. So yes, while our fans and our viewers might feel that Uttapa would be the right option, and I really feel Uttapa is the right option. I said that in the last match, but I think
Yeah,
giving that confidence to a youngster also builds on somebody's confidence, and teams like Chennai like to build a team for a period of time and not for one season. So I think they have their faith in their opener, and let's hope he converts that faith into some runs today.
absolutely. Let's have a look at the KKR lineup now. They have got a couple of changes, couple of crucial changes, I must say. Sunil Narayan, the man who we all wanted to see this year's IPL, he's back with his revised action. And Kamlesh Nagarkoti makes way for, Harbhajan Singh and Shakib Al Hasan. What are the,
Oh,
what are your thoughts on these two changes? Big blow?
I think it's an excellent change. Sunil Narayan has been an excellent performer against Chennai, and I think he also deserves a chance. There is a better chance for a Sunil Narayan to thrive in these conditions purely because the ball might not spin so much, but the kind of variation that he has of moving the ball both the ways can trouble the Chennai batsman. Secondly, getting
Yeah.
Kamlesh Nagarkoti in because he's a young fast bowler who bowls really well and has a very good slower one as well. And keeping
Yeah.
Harbhajan out on a pitch like Wankhede is a good deal because the Chennai batsmen can really stick into the off spinners and they've got more right-handers. So I really feel that the changes that Morgan and the team management would have done is an excellent change. And let's see how it pans out. But really excited to see whether Sunil Narayan will open the innings, because he's been doing that in the past. So that's something we'll have to wait and watch.
Hopefully they don't change the opening pair because Nitish Rana and Shubman Gill are in amazing form at the moment. But speaking of the Chennai batting first, as they are batting on this pitch, they've played 3 games already. What are your thoughts, Sahil? How would they go about the batting? Because Ruturaj Gaikwad is not in form. But take me through it. Like, what do you think? What would be their plan when they play these 20 overs against KKR lineup?
I, I think it's fairly easy for Chennai, right? I mean, they've got their job cut out. They know they have to go out and score big. And I think every batsman knows that, including
Yeah,
the Dhoni. So
yeah,
getting Ruturaj Gaikwad up front for KKR might not really be a win because you bring in the batsmen who are in form for Chennai. But eventually you do have to take wickets so that you can stop the runs. But Chennai will be looking at really starting with a lot of zest and something similar to what they did last time. The kind of start that Fab du Plessis gave them along with
yeah,
Moeen Ali was absolutely brilliant. And that match, I think Raina did not really fire,
yeah,
but you expect that from their middle order. I have a little doubt about Dhoni promoting himself up the order. I think if it's the 14th or 15th over, Sam Curran has a better chance to strike the ball purely because of the kind of match practice he's had in the recent past. So I think it'll be excellent and something absolutely contemplated by our fans over
yeah.
here that Dhoni should come at number three. That'll be
I
really
want to see.
ambitious, actually. It would be a great thing to do if he wants to. If he was chasing a target of 120, maybe he'll do that. But he won't take that risk up front because if you lose Dhoni's wicket up front, then maybe the middle order will start looking really different because you don't have a Dhoni towards the end. So they are not taking that risk, and I don't think Dhoni is match fit. I mean, to bat 18 overs at a stretch as of
Yo,
now.
but धोनी है संभाल लेगा. What do we know? What is going on in that champion's mind? So the umpires are out there, the batsmen are out there as well. What do you have to say about this match? There's a huge buzz going around that KKR have a good side, but going against this Chennai unit, what are your thoughts on this match, Salil?
I think it's the battle of the brains more than
Yeah,
the battle of the bat and ball. So I think while KKR would have won the toss, they have a certain strategy, but Chennai's played on this pitch and they have the same kind of formula that they need to replicate. They played against a very good batting lineup like Rajasthan, and KKR is similar because they also can chase those big scores. So I think the formula will be very simple. Their bowlers have to come and bowl, as and when required, and you know how Dhoni shuffles them, and their batsmen would have to go and get those 180 plus runs. So if they stick to that, they can make it. It sounds more simple than
yeah,
it would practically happen, but I would give Chennai the edge for this because they're playing the fourth match on this ground while KKR is playing their first match. So purely from a conditions perspective, we saw that in the previous game as well. Where Rahul said that, yeah, we are trying to get adjusted to the conditions, and
right.
maybe you're pinning it on the conditions when you're not played well. But whatever, I think it honestly is a matter of settling into the weather, settling into the pitch, the outfield. So everything will matter. So I
Makes a
think
difference.
Chennai does have the edge in today's game.
60-40, 60-40 Chennai. You're going for
60,
Chennai.
I think 70-30 Chennai.
Oh, 70-30 Chennai, and
70-30
hopefully
Chennai, yeah.
Dhoni fans would be wanting the whistle podu on the Wankhede ground. So live action
Absolutely.
coming up now. I'll see you in the mid match, Salil. You have been an amazing expert. You've already always given great insights to us. So thank you for joining again. I'll see you in the mid match show. Thank you all our viewers. Amazing action coming
Thank
up
you,
live.
Yash. Thanks, everyone.